You've heard about this great resignation, people quitting their jobs in really high numbers. And you may have wondered, first of all, what's going on? And second of all, what it means for you. So there are a lot of reasons for this great resignation. They include things like people who work in the service industry and got really fed up with the bad hours and the bad pay. People having care issues. They have elders or children who need now more of their time for the care. And sometimes it also includes things like the greater flexibility that people in more kind of white collar jobs found during all of this craziness. And whatever the reasons are, I think they're varied and individual. And I think it does mean that there's actually a lot of hope for people who are in the process of seeking employment right now. So the good news is that because there are so many people who have left jobs, there are employers who are really, really anxious to hire new people. Even within service sector kinds of jobs like restaurants, we're definitely seeing an uptick in some nicer benefits that employers are offering, things like better pay and better vacation packages. But if you are more of a sort of white collar type worker, if you're looking for an office job, it also means that you can ask for more things like some flexibility around your work, perhaps a hybrid or remote schedule, things like that. And I think what is especially important right now, if you are in job seeking mode, is to really clarify what it is that you want from this next thing. Now, I will say that I am not seeing as big an uptick in openings for sort of more skilled, niche, high-level kinds of jobs. So if you are a director of marketing, you're not seeing this big push where employers are just desperate to hire people in that field. But if you're thinking about a career change, this is, I think, a really good time to go about it. There's so many possibilities out there right now, particularly more entry-level things. So just figure out kind of your specific needs from all of this and your goals. Now, a lot of times what you'll find with entry-level jobs is that they start you off at doing some very routine kinds of tasks. And if you're at all like me, the problem is that that can get really boring really quickly. So I think it's fair to look for an entry-level kind of job that is going to have some growth built in, because you don't want to get bored in your job. But again, I think because of this great resignation, because employers are hurting so much to find people to do these jobs, that can certainly be a point of conversation that you have. It could even be something that you negotiate. So for example, if you're in the negotiation process with a job offer, you could ask something about how quickly you might get evaluated for a new job, new responsibilities, whatever it is. And then a thing that some people are asking for that I think is particularly timely is some kind of educational benefit. So typically how that works is the employer will agree to pay for a certain degree or certification. And you then in turn agree to work at the employer for a certain amount of time after you've gotten that, so it benefits them. So I think a lot of people are also pushing for things like that, as well as better vacation packages, better retirement packages, paid time at the gym, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of things that are in your power to negotiate right now. And especially if you're in a position of simply needing a job just to tide you over to get money coming in the door, there are loads of service kinds of jobs available out there. Some of them are absolutely things like food service and that kind of thing, but there are other more entry-level jobs as well where people just need folks to answer the phone, to schedule appointments, that kind of thing. So, if you have a yoga studio nearby, they're probably really looking to hire someone who can, tell people how much the classes are and that kind of thing. So if you're in a sort of anxious space where you really need some money coming in the door, look at those kinds of service type jobs. And if you're at a place where you're really making some decisions about what's next for you, be really clear, outline your values and your needs from this next thing. And note some things that are going to be pretty appealing to you as you look for your next thing, because those right now may be things that you can negotiate fairly easily. Nobody knows, of course, how long this is going to continue. And, of course, we do need people doing even kind of simple type jobs. We need people, working in restaurants and that sort of thing. So at some point, I think there's a critical mass after which things will go a little bit more back to how they have been. But my hope is that what we get from this and what we carry forward is better conditions for people, even in those kind of lower level essential worker kinds of jobs. And so if you're considering stepping into a role like that, make sure that you do a bit of negotiation and after you get the offer, ask for better pay or better vacation packages, something like that, to move you forward in a way that's going to feel better longer term. And I think is going to do that particular segment of industry some favors in the future. So think about these things, think about where you fit into the mix here. And let me know if you have additional questions about any of this, because we're all in the middle of this right now. And I think there are some pretty healthy ways we can think of to get out of it. I hope you all have a great week. I'll see you here next week.